Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boys, Keeper and Crusader. Welcome to Crypto Wars. Crusader, how are you?
What's going on, man? I'm putting out a tweet right now letting the people know what time it is.
It is 3:04. We are a couple minutes behind. It's my apologies. That is my fault. Had a phone call doing an addition, actually, coincidentally, for my mother. And when mom calls last second and needs something, you got to answer the phone. So that's what's going on there. Sorry about that, Crypto fam. Dude, I got to start off by saying I wish you were in Vegas. We had lots going on out there.
I think it wished people I wasn't there.
Yeah, well, I wish you were there. It was a really good time. All of you guys know there was lots of drama.
The IFC might have had an early start. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, it felt like it was going to just about the whole time. Not with the contenders that we thought were going to be fighting. Things got a little squirrely. So at any event, we had a really good time. Got to hang out with Bass Rutten, a couple of the other old school UFC fighters. GSP was there. George St. Pierre was there. It was super dope. Dude, I got to tell you, the fights, I haven't sent this to you yet, were the female fight. There was one female fight on the card. Absolutely freaking savage, bro. Both of these girls were knocked out on their feet probably twice a piece, and they let it keep going. I'm talking about they were covered in freaking blood. Chris Angel was standing next to me while we were watching the fight, and I said to Chris, I was like, because there's a bunch of celebrities and stuff there. I said to Chris, I said, hey, no amount of magic is going to take away that black eye. And he thought that was pretty funny. So we had a really good time. The fights were fantastic. Obviously, the people fighting in the IFC are not going to fight the same, or most of them are not going to fight to the same degree that we were seeing. You know, we were seeing professional freaking fighters getting after it. But it was pretty dope, dude. It really made things that are coming up real. So if you guys haven't already, check out what we got going on. Your boy Rodney, Crypto Journey RS, met with him out there, you know, had a little face off. If you guys didn't see that on Twitter, make sure you're following us on Twitter. That's where a lot of stuff is going on and where you guys will be getting updates. But
all right, let's stop shilling George's shit.
So that's not what I was doing. I was shilling my own. I was shilling our own. This is good for us.
Yeah,
this is good for us. So let me jump into the chat real quick and say hello. Actually, I might have missed this on the YouTube side of things, but the first person that I'm seeing is Keenan Henson says that joined. J-Dog says joined. Why are these telling me joined?
What are you talking about?
Can you see this? In the chat, when I look in the chat.
Oh, that's Twitter. Those are Twitter messages.
Oh, you've got them actually linked.
Or people watching live on Twitter.
Ah, you've got it linked over there. All right, fantastic. Well, welcome Twitter fam as well.
Mr. Market was the first one here.
Mr. Market. No time frame on the poll, so yes, eventually.
The time frame for the poll is basically is Bitcoin going to hit a 9 trillion market cap? And the time frame is
$9 trillion.
Yeah, the time frame is before the end of this decade. I'll give you guys that much time.
Yes.
9 trillion.
Yes.
That's like a 500K plus Bitcoin.
9 trillion. I think so. I think we flip gold's. I think we get close to or flip gold's market cap. You said by the end of the decade. We only have about 6 years left.
Yeah, we got 6 years, bro.
Because we got the bull market.
We got 6 years of a bear market. But if we hit super cycle, there is no bear market for the rest of the decade.
I don't know. I'll say we'll get to a minimum of 5. We'll get to 5.
That's a conservative bet, bro. That's
but I'm conservative. You know,
it's like saying, is water wet? Of course.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to get into the Bitcoin commercial. We're going to talk about that. Lots happening in politics. You know, your boy Keeper is excited about that, but it's actually politically charged crypto stuff, so we don't have to get Crusader's panties up in a bunch about me, you know, getting political.
I'm the one that runs the YouTube algorithm. I'm the one that tells you, hey, take those videos down.
And guys, if you didn't know, somebody's got a $650 Ethereum price target. So I think we'll talk about that when it gets there. Also, throwing out there, actually, Crusader, why don't you throw it out there? What are we doing now with memberships and super chats?
Memberships and super chats. So, guys, every single super chat, every dollar, right? Like Keenan that just threw in a super chat.
Yeah, shout out to
every
Keenan.
single dollar puts your name one time on the wheel. So this person, Keenan, threw in $4.99. You're gonna be $5, right? You're gonna be on the wheel 5 times. We're gonna spin this wheel. This wheel is gonna get you an opportunity to play Flipper Hodl for $3,600 next time around. And if you are a member, however many super chats you send, so if Keenan was a member or is a member, his super chat is duplicated by 2. So $5 becomes a $10 super chat.
So make sure you guys remember, we will be doing some more stuff down the road as well. But for right now, it's doubling up on your super chats, your number of times you can be on the wheel, which is freaking huge. Because like Crusader said, $3,600 is on the line the next time we play Flipper Hodl, which I'm hoping and planning on is going to be this week. That's the game plan. So let me jump in to check out the crypto markets right quick, see what's going on. If you guys haven't been paying attention, take a little look-see over here and get an idea where things are at for that upcoming $10 trillion market cap we got the poll out there for. The global crypto market cap, let me update this just to make sure I'm on point here. 1.57 trillion with the T dollars. That's down 1.71%. Bitcoin down a little bit over 1%, but up a couple, almost 3% on the week. ETH down about 2.8%, but man, I think ETH's been really holding strong. 2172, glad to see that. Pretty flat over the last 7 days. BNB down a couple percent. Guys, you probably get tired of hearing it, but the reality is when we see Bitcoin down, the rest of everything is pretty much down, usually a little bit more. We got Cardano down over 3%, AVAX down almost 5%, but still up over 9% because it's been ripping. Dogecoin rounding out the top 10, down 5%. Now, let me see here. I got to pull up VeChain for a second. Let's check on my, here we go.
Commie coin?
VeChain. You call it the Commie coin. What'd you say?
Look at that Caspa.
Oh, we're going to look at Caspa. Look, they're neck and neck, bro. Our coins are neck and neck. Caspa down 6.55%. It's at 10 cents, down almost 12%. And VeChain from your boy Keeper, the VeChain Vice Lord, up 1.32%, up almost up over 16%, bro. The Vice Lord has spoken. VeChain started pumping. Let's freaking get it.
The Caspa Kings are going to be top 15.
The Caspa Kings are going to be top 15 when?
This cycle, top 15.
You think this cycle will get 15. To top 15?
For sure. Okay. I think Caspa could hit 80 billion market cap.
Okay. I could see, you said 80 billion?
80 billion market cap.
Dude, you think you're going to 40x from it? You got a $4.
Cardano hit 90 billion market cap last cycle, and it had nothing. It had no smart contracts. It had nothing going for it. Dogecoin hit like 80-something billion market cap. Caspa is gonna be in the top 15.
I'd love to see a 40x out of, man. I'll tell you what, I'd love to see a 40x out of VeChain. That would be a beautiful thing. For
telling you, bro, this cycle is gonna be wild. The numbers that we're expecting are gonna be blown away, dude. We're gonna see wild numbers.
See, the reason I like to be conservative is because I've learned over the years that it makes me make better decisions in the crypto space. We want to educate you guys, and one of the things that I like to do is be more conservative because of lack of being conservative in the past. I've missed out on great opportunities to take some profits and do some really good things that I could have done. And so this time around, as we are game planning what we're doing as it relates to our long-term portfolios, working on that together, short-term when we're taking profits, whatnot, I like to be more conservative because I feel like for me, it gives me a better opportunity to make better decisions in these markets, and B, I think that it doesn't feel so freaking, it'll feel either absolutely fantastic when you're right and it just absolutely rips.
Keep that conservative stuff in the traditional markets, baby. We're here.
I know YouTube wants to hear me say, the whole market's going to $100 trillion or some wildness like that, but it's going to take time. Even with the spot ETF, it's going to take some time. So shout out to the chat though. Thank you again, Keenan, for the super chat. We've got you on the board.
Keenan says, could y'all do, what is that? Wilder?
What is Wild? WLD? Let me,
because if it is, it just happened to be, I just came across this on Twitter right now. Wilder World is a metaverse that's being
built. WorldCoin, you're saying?
Oh, that's WorldCoin. This is Wilder World. Never mind. Seeing close, but we're already here. This is a metaverse game. It gives me vibes of Midnight Club from back in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah,
cruising through the highways late at night or whatever in the cars.
Yeah,
this is going to be a metaverse game on the blockchain. Looks really great. I forgot who told us about this project.
Oh, I know who. I know who.
Um,
Because we got offered an opportunity to do some stuff with it.
Yeah,
It
so
was
what's her name? Tatiana.
Tatiana. Yep.
Yes, Tatiana.
What's her name on TikTok?
Tatiana.
Is it her name on TikTok? Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so.
Tatiana Di Marie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just her
yeah,
name. Yeah.
yeah. She's awesome. She did introduce us to that. It is supposed to be pretty dope. The graphics are great. So we'll see how they integrate that with the actual crypto side of things, other than it just being on the blockchain. I think that's where the games are going to differentiate themselves in the graphics, and then how they actually put together the crypto centric side of whether you're buying skins or whether you're getting payouts on, certain.
Yeah, they need to have sustainable business models
Yes.
along with their crypto tokens, so it doesn't just become a pump and dump. It doesn't just crash the game
Yeah.
when the market just takes a dip or whatever. It needs to be sustainable.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. So I won all 5 of my bets. They don't call them bets; they call them votes. That's probably keep them out of trouble. But for Karate Combat, I won all 5 of my bets, which was freaking fun and fantastic. But what I noticed was that because of the way it's set up, where you can't lose, and we'll put a link out for you guys to sign up under my link or whatever under our link. But ultimately, the payouts weren't nearly as big as I was expecting. So I bet like 50,000 karate tokens on each of the bets.
Are you shitting Georgia shit again, bro?
No, this is Karate Combat.
We don't talk about that here.
No, this is Karate Combat. I'm talking about ultimately getting into their ecosystem, but understand that the bets need to be bigger than you probably think to bring the returns. Because you can't, because it's a no lose and they create more tokens to be able to make it so you don't lose. My 50,000 tokens, which were technically, I don't know, $100 a bet on each, $110 bet on each. I think on the fights, the most I won on one of the bets was like $25 or something like that. Like it was, you know what I'm saying? Like you do need to
if you don't want risk, they don't expect a lot of reward.
Well, I wasn't thinking about the fact that since it was a no loss, why didn't I just go ham on the bets?
I thought you did. I thought you put it all.
No, I could have on 5 bets. I could have done 100,000 odd on each, and I don't know why I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Which was just dumb looking back on it. I don't know why I didn't do that. I was literally trying to play conservative, but I knew the structure. So at any event, thank you guys all for being here. Let's dive into the topics. Well, hold on.
Let's do some.
Yeah, TA. You got some TA?
Do I? Yeah, I do it. Yeah, I do. Let me bring that up here real quick.
If you guys aren't signed up under ZoomX, make sure to do that. It's one of the ways you can support the channel other than the super chats. Sign up, trade under us on ZoomX. That definitely helps the channel. We'd appreciate it. They've been a good partner for us. All right, go ahead, bro.
Man, it's pretty simple. This is what's happening, right? We're in this December range right now. We're staying right above this. This range is obviously developing, so it changes as the month continues to go on. But this is the range we were in November. We broke out of it, had a massive pump, hit the April 22nd, the 2022 April PIV, right? Got kind of rejected there, came back down. We're still developing this range. These are the targets, right? This April 43,000. We got to break that to keep moving up. Next after that is 49. There's going to be some levels here in between, but that's the big overall level. And if it doesn't go so well for us, the levels to look out down below, obviously there's a CME gap down here between 38 and 40. If that gets filled and does not hold that support and bounces back up, then we're going to be breaking back into this November range, which is between 38,000 and 35. And in between that, obviously, we have the point of control and we have the December pivot of 36,000. This is what if this does not hold, if we break down through the CME gap and into this range and this doesn't hold, look out down below, right? 32,000 is the only thing holding us above. And then after that, not going to look bueno. The only way I see that even happening is if there's some ETF rejection, something hardcore that comes out. Because right now we're expecting rate cuts, we're expecting the Bitcoin halving, and we're expecting the ETF approval in less than 20 days from now. Less than 20 days.
Expecting.
It's January 10th is the deadline. So unless there's a hard rejection, there could be a delay maybe. I don't know how that works, what their rules are. But if there's not, and there's no rejection and it gets approved, blast off time, baby.
Yeah, CryptoPolio said that there's 2 CME gaps now. I tend to, they historically tend to fill, but it's not like a hard, fast rule. And so I think that you just need to be careful with the idea of thinking they have to fill, because the other one's down to like 20K, bro.
Yeah.
That's going to be a huge dump. And with what's coming up, I still have talked about seeing a big correction. I don't know about that big of a correction though. Like that
That's
would be,
50%.
yeah, I know. That would be absolutely
I just don't
massive.
see that happening with the ETF looming, right? Like if there is no
Yeah.
ETF, if the ETF gets rejected, right? There's a hard rejection. If there's like interest rate hikes instead of a
Yeah.
cut, then I
Yeah.
can see all these things come into play. But with the ETF there, we're going to be talking about, right, the ETF commercial that's now being produced and published by the most interesting man in the world. There's no way that Bitcoin don't pump now, bro.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to see how it plays out and see how hard it does pump, but I believe it will pump. I do think some of it is being priced in, but I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it's as massive as some. There's a lot of people that are suggesting that a lot of what we've seen is it being priced in. And I don't know, man. We get Santa rallies just about it seems like every freaking year.
We got standing rallies. We've got 69K Bitcoin without any
Like, do
ETFs.
you
Like
agree with
this is
this?
now
Buy the rumors, sell the news, ETF. Man, that'd be a
we
weird
could have a dip, right? We could have a dip. There's a lot of
a
people in
dip.
profit in the
Yeah.
market, right? We could have pullbacks for sure, but it's not going to be like, oh, that's it. Market topped out, and everybody sold the news on the ETF, and the market's just going to crash. No,
Yeah.
of course there's going to be pullbacks. Of course there's going to be,
Oh, yeah.
maybe something like that where we see a little bit of a red candle or whatever for the next couple of days after the
Normal.
ETF.
Normal.
Very possible. Tons of people are in tons of profit, right? MicroStrategy is in a $1.2 billion profit right now.
Is that how high it is?
Yeah, in profit from buying all the Bitcoin throughout this bear market.
Woo.
So, not saying that he's going to sell any, right? He could, but even if he doesn't, there's other people in crypto that obviously have been in for a very long time that have been getting ready, taking profits.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be, it's no sweat off my back. I'm not worried about it if there is a dip in the meantime.
Yeah. Mr. Market says, I can see Bitcoin going below. Well, I'm sorry. Mr. Market said not going to happen. But he also said, I can see Bitcoin going below 20K if the energy prices plummet. That would
If
be
the energy
kind
price,
of counterintuitive.
no, because
because
the energy prices plummet, then that means they have more profit so they don't have to hold as much Bitcoin.
Oh yeah,
to pay the energy.
we would be taking
So
more profits on our yield
mining.
from our
Yeah,
mining.
on the mining, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I could see.
But I don't see energy dropping
but
because
no,
gas just got more expensive.
no, I'm
Gas
totally
dropped to like 249 where I was at, and now it's back up to 297.
okay. Hey, I wanted to just give you a heads up. Brandon just messaged me, so we're supposed to be getting a phone call in a little bit. Just letting you know.
Okay, cool.
Because I had messaged him directly. All right, so Crypto Fam, let's dive into it. I was talking, we've been talking about what's happening in the political landscape.
What about this?
Oh, you want to do this first? I wasn't.
Oh no, I thought
this
this was what you were leading at. We'll just leave that here for right now.
Okay. I will pull this right here.
Long
Crypto
live
Titans
Bitcoin.
launch 2024 election play with $78 million super PAC spend. The industry is trying to back friendly policymakers as it faces intense scrutiny from regulators. That's obviously Brian Armstrong. We just passed on there. Trio super PACs backed by crypto execs and investors said Monday that they've raised $78 million as part of a major new push to influence the 2024 elections. The campaign, which is support from venture capital giant Andreessen Horowitz, U.S. crypto exchange Coinbase, and Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, marks the revival of the digital asset industry's political operations following the downfall of crypto mega donor Samuel Bankman-Fried. Now, let me just ask you this, what your thought on this is. They come out and directly are just saying, hey, we're throwing money at people to get, a push in the direction that we want, as it were, in the political sphere, right? In the regulatory, hemisphere, if you will. Do you think that this is this is how things work, right? The people donate politically to effectively be, hey, push our agenda. But this is also what gets us in trouble. Not us crypto. I'm saying just in general, all of these people donating massive amounts of money, and then who ultimately is kind of making the decisions in the background. It can feel and seem as if the donors, because that's what they want, they're only donating money because they say, hey, we want to back you, we want to support you because you're doing what we want you to do. But then when it comes time to pay the piper, it's kind of like, hey, bro, you owe me one. Is this good, bad, or indifferent?
It's definitely in the short term good, right? We want to get people that are crypto friendly in the White House,
For sure.
in the Congress, right? Get some support, legislation support, all this stuff. happening for crypto. So right now, people are making single voter issues, which is crypto. If you're pro crypto, I'm voting for you. We have to see how that plays out in the long term, right? Because they might be pro crypto to an extent, right? Until they're persuaded otherwise for something else, because somebody else is paying them big bucks to support something else, and you're like, oh yeah, I knew he was kind of a douche, but he said he was pro Bitcoin, so I voted for him, right? So that's gonna be a problem in the long term. In the short term, raising money, raising awareness in the stage, right, in the debate stages, having people talking about Bitcoin, it's good, man. It's people need to
Oh yeah,
see the writing on the wall that hey,
yeah,
US dollar's in trouble.
yeah. I think it will. I think it will be good as well. I'm just suggesting the idea that these massive donors, basically pushing their agenda, can also work against us as well. And we've seen that. It's one of the things that people complain about, the way that our system is set up. It's so money centric that whoever's tossing around the most money gets their agenda pushed forward. Now, yeah,
Yeah.
we're in crypto, so we want to see it. We like the 78 million or 79 million, whatever it was, that's going to be tossed around. But I think that we just need to understand that that is a slippery slope as well. Just looking at it from all what happens when all of the banks say, oh, you've got $79 million. Cool story, bro. Because we've got 7.9 billion that we're going to throw at ours and get our agenda pushed. You know what I mean? It just can cause that kind of strife, I guess.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree.
I hope that it turns out well. That's obviously the push. Hey, crypto fam, if you haven't already smashed the likes, please smash the like. It's free. Sign up and to trade under us on ZoomX. If you are not already trading, jump in, have some fun with that.
Season 3 is coming, baby.
There. Dude, season 3 is coming, and we're not going to tell you yet. We're always making changes. We're always
gotta be careful
things,
what you say nowadays.
Yeah, I know. But we have a change coming that I think you guys are going to freaking love. Listen, if you thought that it was like fun and intense before, you're going to love the setup we got coming, because it is the same show, but it has changed dramatically, and nobody's safe. That's just how it is. Nobody's safe. So I'm excited to get the new season rolling. What are we starting, like January 8th?
January 8th is the start date for Trading Wars. So get ready for that. Let's hit some of these comments here. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, Flipper Hodl reminder, every dollar that you put in of Super Chat is one name on the wheel, unless you are a member. If you are a member, it's going to be double whatever you put in. If you haven't seen our game, Flipper Hodl, I know there's some tweeter. There's some X people. There's some X people in here that may or may not have seen the game. So if you guys are looking to have some fun, play a crypto-centric game, this is a mix between Deal or No Deal and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
It's playing for $3,600, baby. Let's go.
$3,600. And the bank offers almost invariably every
$500 right now,
or $500.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I was just gonna hit some comments here real quick. Yeah. Crypto Boyle says 20K CME gap will not be filled, but that 39.5, they think it will be a scam wick. Other people saying put in buy orders at that price level. I don't know about that. I'm always worried about the CME gaps. Crypto, he said, did you get out Illuvium? Picked up some at $85 and took a long for 30% for now. That's good. Yeah, Illuvium is definitely one I haven't picked up yet, but I am going to be picking up some Illuvium at that price, because I've also picked up, I haven't picked up recently, but Quant. I picked up Quant at 88, and it's been doing well for me. I think Illuvium, obviously, it's having the buy the rumor, sell the news after their game launched. The price has kind of dropped a little bit. Gaming in general has had a little bit of a pullback, but I will definitely be looking at some Illuvium, just like their tokenomics, dude. Very small supply. Yeah. Let's see. There's a few other comments here.
I just want to tell this one. I'm not going to pull this one up, but V-Sun was asking about the George thing. If you guys want the simplified version,
let's bring that up, baby, because I haven't had a video saying my take on it. So.
If you guys haven't heard the simplified version that doesn't dive, get all crazy with
simplified
version, it's on our YouTube.
Big channels with lots of money are a bunch of greedy fucks that want to take ideas and make them better with their resources, right? And if we don't just willingly give them up, they just go and do it anyways.
That's not happening now. So
we'll see.
That has been publicly proclaimed not happening. So we're excited to continue to move forward into season 3 of Trading Wars. That's really what it comes down to. It is a great idea. It's a great show. Yep, I just put Bubba's Crypto on the board. Is Bubba's Crypto a member?
Let me check here real
Bubba's
quick.
Crypto, if you are not a member, sign up. We had actually some people gifting memberships and doing all sorts of cool stuff. But that $5 will turn into 10. That 5 names on the wheel will turn into 10 names on the wheel. But thank you very much. At the end of the video that I did with George when he gave me the apology, I flipped over and said, question everything, trust nothing. And I don't think he knew that was like our like tagline. And I think it was like, it got kind of like a, does he,
Damn right. Damn right.
Oh God. So at any event. All right, let's move forward. We've been talking about the political landscape. Let me touch on one more thing, regulatory wise. 2024, many people are thinking, and obviously we have an article to pull this up, is that maybe if I can, where did it go?
Well, Bitcoin
I'm
will
trying
live long.
Why is it not the year of regulatory compromise? Why can I not see this? Here it is. Okay, here we go. 2024, the year of regulatory compromises. In the wake of the implosion of multiple crypto operators in 2022, a phalanx of administrative agencies descended upon the industry, declaring it rife with fraud, scams, bankruptcies, and money laundering. In an effort to remedy these perceived defects, the SEC and Commodity Futures Trading Commission collectively brought more than 200 enforcement actions against crypto industry participants over the course of 2023. It says, like an autoimmune response, this is unable to distinguish good from bad. The agencies filed lawsuits against both those that skirted the law and those that attempted to comply with it. Among those ensnared by the agency's enforcement dragnet were distributor uniquely generated animated cat JPEGs, decentralized autonomous organization, and numerous celebrity influencers, including Kim Kardashian, Paul Pierce, and Lindsay Lohan. This article goes on to just further talk about what we have as we move towards 2024. It is an election year. The spot ETF is coming, whether people like it or not. What I'm seeing from this is their back is effectively against. They have to compromise. They can't just continue to sell the narrative and the idea that crypto is nothing but rife with frauds and scams. Because the reality, crypto has done a lot of great things for a lot of industries. Use VeChain as an example. There's so much that happens in these massive businesses that need to be able to get more organized and more streamlined and really be able to understand their supply chain management, which is all of what they're doing. Their business. Where are things at? How much do they cost? How can we better organize these? Boom, in comes blockchain solution. And when I've been talking about this being as we move towards this next bull run, it being utilitarian, there's so many examples of great things that blockchain is going to do. And so they can say that there's all these bad things in blockchain. Okay, are there? For sure. But there is in the traditional banking system that you've been supporting forever as well. There is in the cash system as well. You can't just pick and choose. And so what's finally happening is the big players are saying, wait a minute, we're not going to miss the boat on this. People are seeing how much of an opportunity this is. Their backs are against the wall and they're going to have to compromise. Dude, think about it. You have an argument with somebody, you have beef with somebody, something happens, something pops off. If it's all one-sided and it continues to be that way, it's really simple to just stand firm, hold your ground. That's where I'm at. That's where everybody's at. Eat it. Well, guess what? That's not where we're at in the crypto space. There's so many of the big players saying, no, wait a minute. We need to get in on this action. How do you feel about the compromising side of things? Do you think they're still going to push the narrative, but have or they're basically going to have no choice but to walk back some of the stuff?
Yeah,
or do you think we'll do that?
I think that's where the two-party system comes in perfectly, right? One party can push one narrative continuously, pushing that it's all for scammers and whatever, and the other party can take the opposite stance and say, hey, Bitcoin's freedom, Bitcoin's this. And we'll see a mix of party members, right, on both sides, flipping and flopping. So I think that's where the two-party system fits in perfectly and creates that divide all the time. It's just they can always take the end side of the spectrum and just debate it all day long and still continue to never fully give to one side or the other and never have to admit anything, that they're ever wrong or that they're ever right. No one's right, no one's wrong, nobody knows anything, and they'll just keep fighting about it forever. That's what I think is going to happen. So they're going to keep pushing that narrative. At the same time, there's going to be other parties saying, well, obviously it's doing very well. It's freedom. It's decentralization. It's taking power away from the government, yada, yada, right? And the Fed, all this whole narrative, and they're going to try to get votes off of that. And the other party is going to get votes off the regulation and the protecting you. And we don't worry. We only know what's best for you, yada, yada. And by the way, Bubba's Crypto, it just did become a member, so we're going to honor that, and we're going to double it up.
Okay, hold on a second. I will switch that right. You said it was Bubba's Crypto?
Yeah.
Welcome to, well, you've already been part of the family, bro, but welcome officially to the membership family. That $5 just turned into $10. 10 spots on the wheel. I pulled this chat up a minute ago, but I want to show it again real quick. I want to comment on it. Crypto Pollo, always interacting with the chat, says Gary already gave up. We still have some old hags holding on to hopium, parentheses, Liz Warren. You can't beat innovation. And I think that's really that last statement. You can't beat innovation. That's what's happening in the blockchain space. And people, when they see it, when they recognize it, when they recognize what it can do for their individual businesses, what it can do for the greater landscape in the world, how can you turn it down? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. How can you continue to look at something that's changing our lifestyle, changing the landscape, changing the ability for people to create and maintain their own wealth and say, nah, I'm not here for it. They can push, but that innovation, I think, is going to bleed through and continue. And I think that's where we're headed. So great comment, brother. Smash those likes if you haven't already, Crypto Fam, as well. Make sure to do that and make sure that you are subscribed and a member. What are we about to pull up there, Crusader?
Nothing. It's just chaos because I got booted from my internet and I'm back now.
Well, it booted me too. That was kind of interesting. Hopefully people heard what was said there. But okay, cool. So let's talk about Bitcoin. We've been talking about Bitcoin. What do you think about all these micro wallets? So Santiment says that micro Bitcoin wallets hit record holdings in November. Bitcoin wallets holding 1 Bitcoin or less hold the most coins ever, as they aggressively picked up their accumulation since the beginning of November. Mid-tier wallets are slightly down in the past couple months. I'm going to give you guys the breakdown. Wallets with 100 plus Bitcoin, known as whales, account for 11.5 million Bitcoin, representing 59.1% of the supply. So almost 60% of the supply are whales. Okay. 1 to 100 make up about 33.6% of the supply. And then 1 or less make up the other 7 point whatever percent, whatever the percent was, it said 7.3% of that total supply. Crusader, do you think that, so that breakdown is going, I think that breakdown is going to drastically change. I think.
Or yeah, I think it will continuously to always. But what do you mean by change?
I'm saying that I think that the whales, unless the whales are only leveraging, I think that the
whales are going to offload.
Not offload, but I think they have to sell into the smaller wallets in some regard, unless the world starts to revolve around Bitcoin, in which we can. Everyone's leveraging, everyone's just holding, everyone's using like the stock market. That would be a very.
Think about it, man. It's like the greatest transfer of wealth is that for a reason, right? People that bought New York real estate back in the 1800s they ain't selling now.
Yeah.
Right. That's just generational wealth forever.
So you think that it's going to be the same as it is everywhere else? So the big dogs are going to have it's like the money in our world, right?
Early
the
adopters
elites hold the massive amount of the money, and then everybody else holds.
Well, yeah. Now, obviously, elites because institutions are coming, but a lot of those people, I'm sure, are just regular people that just got in extremely early, right? Because only 100 Bitcoin makes you a whale, but 100 Bitcoin, they were giving thousands of Bitcoin away for free on the internet in the early years of Bitcoin, right? And picking up 100 Bitcoin in 2014, 2015 isn't a huge investment.
No,
so a lot of regular people are those whales now, not just the elites. That's just point. The transfer of wealth. I think they're going to hold on to it. I think they're going to leverage some to have play money and pay bills and and invest in other things and do stuff. But I don't think they're going to offload. I think the wallets that have 1 Bitcoin or less are going to continue growing. We're going to see a stagnation in the other wallets that hold large amounts of Bitcoin.
So that's what I'm saying. The number of wallets will significantly grow in terms of the little guys. Right?
Yes, those will continue to grow.
But you
right?
think the
'Cause people can hold
the
Satoshis.
percentages aren't really probably going to change that much because the people that have are in the know and know what they're holding,
Oh yeah,
and they're not going to want to, basically offload, is what you're saying?
yeah. Those whales ain't no whale gonna sell all their 100 Bitcoin or whatever and just
No, 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 no. I agree with
Oh.
that, but I could see some people offloading a chunk of and moving around
For
a little
what? For
bit,
dollars? For real estate?
depending on what they're buying. I mean, yeah,
Like
there's going to be
why?
people that are
Why
going to
would
do
you
it.
imagine this thing? Let's play this here real quick. I have 100 Bitcoin. I sell 50% of my bag.
Yep.
I can buy a ton of real estate. I mean, you can do
Yeah.
the quick math for me. What's
Yeah,
50
like
Bitcoin in dollars?
$2 million.
All right, $2 million. I go and buy a bunch of houses. Well, maybe not a bunch of houses because nowadays, right,
Yeah.
with all the pricing. But go and buy a bunch of real estate here in the States.
Yeah.
I buy real estate. I might not be buying at the greatest time, right? Because remember, I'm not a real estate investor. I'm just a crypto guy,
Yeah.
right? That made a bunch of money. I go and buy a bunch of real estate. Interest rates might not be best. Maybe some properties work out for me. Maybe some don't. Maybe the
Yeah,
United
you get
States
a
becomes
yield.
a huge whatever that I don't like being around
Yeah.
anymore, right? Maybe we get invaded. I don't
Yeah.
know, right? And you're like, oh man, I can't take my property with me to Costa Rica, right? If you would have been holding that Bitcoin, you wouldn't have all these problems with the real estate, with the cycles of real estate. For me, it makes no sense to get rid of the hardest, best asset ever created
Yeah.
for old traditional assets that are being outperformed.
I agree. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. I'm not selling my ETH. I will take some profits on this next run. We have to sell some of ours as we're mining, obviously, to pay for energy and things like that. But the overall goal for us is to continue to stack. So I do agree with you on that front. I think that as you say that, yeah, the return, the yield on the Bitcoin is going to be so much greater than the potential on the real estate. That only I think the people that will sell will be the people that are they're looking to buy something. They're looking to get into something. They're looking to whatever. And they've got so much of it. It's like, what's 10 Bitcoin? Okay.
Sure, whatever. But I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, we know you wouldn't. You are the Bitcoin. You are the
Get rich or die
Bitcoin
trying, baby.
bull on the.
That's right. Forever. The eternal bull will always be bullish on Bitcoin.
The eternal bull. Yeah. Enrique bought a Bitcoin, said, I am not selling it. Yeah. Ever. And then Crypto Boy says, take profits on alts and keep your Bitcoin.
That's exactly what my goal is. My goal is to sell as many of my altcoins as possible and then wait for the big retracement if there isn't a bear market, right? And then try to stack up as much Bitcoin as I can, keep it there, and then once again put some more money into alts in the next bear market.
Ooh, here's a rough one. I bought 3 Bitcoin 2 cycles ago and gave it to a scammer.
Did he promise to give you 6 back?
I'll bet he did. I mean, I bet he did.
Fuck.
I bet he did. Yeah. That sucks, Bubba's Crypto. But hey, listen, you're here and you still have the opportunity to do well in the crypto space. So good luck to you and your family. That's a really hard pill to swallow. But hey, you know what? You learned a really difficult lesson, and hopefully, moving forward.
We haven't been scammed out of Bitcoin, but we've been scammed out of some ETH. It happens, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It definitely happens for sure. Smash that like if you haven't already, Crypto Fam. Every dollar you give on Super Chats, put your name on the wheel for $3,600 to play Flipper Hodl coming up. Hoping to play again this week. We'll keep you posted on that. And if you are a member, that number doubles. So if you put in a $5 Super Chat, it'll be 10. You put 10, it'll be 20. You put 1, it'll be 2. Whatever, we will double that number if you are a member of the channel. So make sure that you're a member and check it out when we do the next round coming up soon. All right, moving forward, let's talk about a $650 Ethereum. I have a hard time with this one. Okay, everybody knows my ETH is my baby. It's my girl. Trading veteran Peter Brandt shorted ETH. He's targeting $650. He's saying the rejection occurred at a confluence of resistance levels. Will ETH price regain its footing, or is the beginning of a correction? So basically, they're showing you, obviously, the chart right here, the ETH USDT weekly chart, the RSI and momentum indicator traders use to evaluate whether the market is overbought or oversold and whether to accumulate or sell. So here's what Peter Brandt said. Classical chart patterns in price charts are not sacred. They fail to perform according to the textbooks all the time. But if the rising wedge in Ethereum complies with the script. The target is $1,000, then $650. I shorted ETH on Friday. I have a protective stop. So here's what he's looking at. He's looking at a wedge. Dude, I can't even. We're going to have a total meltdown of markets for $650 Ethereum. Like a meltdown. What's Bitcoin? Hold on. What was ETH at when Bitcoin was at 15K? I think it dropped down to 900, 850.
900, and it was there for a short period of time. It wasn't even at 900 for like days. It was there for like a few hours probably. It was like a wick down to 900, 800 maybe. I think it got as close as to 800 on a wick, and then it popped right back up over 1,000, and it sat at 1,000, 1,100 for a bit. I'll tell you right now what a pullback like that is. So we're currently at let me see.
What, 41K, something like that?
He says 650 or something.
650 is what they said.
From where we're currently at right now, down to 650.
Well, I mean, it would be
70%, dude.
Yeah,
it's literally like a 70% drop.
It's huge.
It's nonsense. It's wild. Like there's no way ETH is going to drop 69% or 70%. What's happening to the rest of the market? Just ETH alone itself is just going to nuke. It's just going to drop straight down, and everything else is going to pump. Like that makes absolutely no sense. Bitcoin would have to be going through some type of also massive drop, because if the altcoins are dropping that heavy, then Bitcoin dropped heavy as well. There's just no way.
The other piece of the puzzle is this: Matthew Barnes. Does he realize that Ethereum is deflationary? And a lot of people thought that it wasn't actually going to be, but it is, and the numbers show it. I think we talked about it on the stream last week.
The burning mechanism,
like, the burn mechanism in there is making it actually deflationary. Now, I saw some people suggesting that they genuinely believed that ETH was going to become old news. Blase, blah. Dude, I think so much has been built on it at this point. I just can't see it. I don't know. I can't wrap my mind around that.
It's going to be the first altcoin for the traditional market, right? The traditional market.
Well, yeah, they're talking about ETH ETFs.
Exactly, right? They are slow to adopt new technologies. They're like Congress, right? They're slow. They're always behind. So they're adopting Bitcoin now. That's pretty much almost guaranteed at this point. Then Ethereum is the talks for Ethereum ETFs are all in about right now, which is surprising. They're even catching up that quickly. But even if it doesn't happen in 2024, let's say it happens in 2025, then you have Ethereum ETF. Dude, there's no way Ethereum is just not going to get. It's not just going to disappear tomorrow. It's not just going to collapse and go away. There's going to be a lot of institutional money parked there. It doesn't matter that it's slow. It doesn't matter that it's gassy.
Yeah. Right? So this is what I was going to say. Didn't mean to cut you off. Gas fees are still, stupid. When will they fix that? Well, listen, I really believe this. ETH is being used by the common person right now and will continue to be used. But the reality is, big money does not care about a freaking couple $100 gas fee when they're moving around millions and millions of dollars worth of Ethereum.
And the gas fees are only the gas fees are only expensive, like hundreds of dollars expensive when you're doing stuff like on DeFi, on like NFTs, smart contract stuff. But when it's just monetary sending or
it costs a couple bucks to transfer like 20, 30, 50K
30
worth
bucks.
of ETH.
Yeah, Gwei was like 300 and it was like $30 to like send the money. Institutional money doesn't care about that. They don't care about those type of fees. And smart contract stuff might eventually, wander off into other altcoins, right? We have AVAX. We have all these other altcoins coming up with smart contract stuff. Maybe we see a shift in that, right? We see Solana overtaking Ethereum on NFT volume and DEX volume, I believe, in the last week or so.
There'll be some things happening. Yeah.
So those kind of things will happen. But the big money is going to be parked where there's the least amount of risk. And the least amount of risk are the two big dogs, Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future. There's no changing that anytime soon.
Yeah. I can't see anything that would happen. You would have to have an absolute just complete and utter meltdown of every freaking thing. And again, I've talked about having big drops in the market. But man, that would be a huge drop. That would be Bitcoin getting down to those Barris Soloway numbers, like 12.
Yeah. I mean, look, Robert here says nobody before COVID said that everyone thought it would never hit $100, and it did, of course. But that was a black swan event. No one saw that coming. Right? That's a black swan event, and there's another black swan event that's a massive type of World War III event or something that nobody even sees, right? Because even now, at the point World War III, it's kind of like almost getting baked in. Everyone talks about it all the time. Everybody hears about
We're
war
talking
and
about
conflicts,
nukes. We got all
right,
sorts of
all the
stuff
time.
going
So it's like
on.
people get kind of desensitized to that. Unless something drastically happens,
Yeah.
the markets aren't going to care.
Yeah.
And with the election year coming in now, with the ETF looming, with the halving coming, and the rate cuts pretty much being almost guaranteed at this point as well for 2024, there's just too many bullish indicator catalyst events happening for a drop that big to occur. Just my thought.
No, I'm with you. I want to touch this real quick. It says, but the fees will dry away retail and the institutions won't be using DeFi or the ERC20. They will treat ETH like a commodity for wealth preservation and the ecosystem can die.
Not necessarily, because the ecosystem will shift from all the degen crazy meme coins and all the crazy NFTs and all to more consolidated wealth driven institution driven smart contract building, right? That could just the shift can just happen that way slowly and gradually, and all the meme craziness that pumps the GUI extremely high can
Just
shift off to other blockchains. That's what I foresee happen. They're not just gonna let the ecosystem die. Plus, Ethereum is hyper connected with big money. Right, the Ethereum Alliance, all these things, consensus, all these things, Circle, whatever. They're not gonna let the ecosystem die. They will continue to build something else. Here's a comment I want to touch.
Moving on. Good Lord. Smash the like if you haven't already, Crypto Fam. We love you guys. We appreciate you for being here. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you put on the bell notification. Be a member. Double up your super chat money, because why not, right? So you can win $3,600. Come on the show. Have some fun with us. My freaking thumb is like bleeding right now. I just accidentally scraped the heck out of it. So all I think things are going to change in the ecosystem drastically. Vehicle titles, home titles, endless certificates, etc. So much potential, and
so much stuff can be built like that on ETH.
And maybe that's the shift, that bigger things move towards, like what he's talking about: vehicle, homes, certificates of deposits, just things that are larger. And you won't see the everyday in and out transaction volume from little NFTs and whatnot. Maybe it'll just be the big dog stuff. And they're not going to shift over. Let's assume that some of the NFTs, like the Bored Apes and things like that, continue to be just incredibly valuable. They're not just going to flop those onto a different chain. And if those have that much value, those people are not going to want that.
There's always going to be value on being on Ethereum, right? Being able to afford the high gas fees, right? The high gas fees is not, like we've said before, it's not a bug. It's a feature that filters out the projects. It filters out the things that cannot be sustained on the network because it gets too expensive, right? So there is no sustainability to it, and they go away. So it's there for a reason. It gets expensive because it's a halt to stop putting garbage on the blockchain if it does not need to be there, and it will filter it out, right? Survival of the fittest kind of scenario.
Green Day Profits wants to know, if I could click the right button here. What day are you guys drawing for the next Flip or HODL contestant? We do not know for sure. We're not going to announce that right this second, because we are trying to confirm which of the sponsors are going to be coming on next. So we're waiting for that confirmation. So get your super chats in. Again, we've got them all. We've got not only are they on the wheel, guys, they're saved into my notes on my computer.
Christmas is next Monday. So we would hopefully next Monday. So we would hopefully do it by this Friday. Before Christmas, to be able to give away the opportunity for $3,600 before Christmas. And then we'll obviously try to do it again on the 29th. Our goals right now are Fridays. Right. The end of the week. Last week obviously got postponed. We had a meeting and things got postponed or whatever. Obviously this works, getting sponsorships, working with companies to be able to fund the game. So, but Fridays is usually the goal. So right now the goal is the 22nd.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's round it out with this commercial, bro. Let me just touch the article and then you can actually show it, because I think you have it.
Hold on, before we touch that, my wife just texted me.
Okay.
She told me about this and I completely forgot because I've been running around all day today. But it is Christmas, almost Christmas, right? Next week, like I said, next Monday is Christmas. She bought me a Christmas sweater that looks like yours, the one that you have.
Does
she's like, you guys should both wear it all week for Christmas. but I completely forgot. So I'm just saying it now so we can remember for tomorrow.
Is it the same one that I
I
have?
don't know if it's the same
And
one.
what color is it?
It's black.
And orange and yellow?
I believe so. Yeah, it has Bitcoin stuff all over it.
Oh, it might be. Does it say like does it have like fuck something or other on it as well? Like if you
Maybe,
look
I
at it
don't know.
closely, there's a bunch of writing on it. All right. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll definitely wear them at a minimum. We'll wear it for the flipper hodl for Friday.
Yeah, for the
Let's plan
game,
on
for the
doing
big
that.
game.
Let's at
Yeah.
least, plan on doing that.
Jingle
But
bells,
yeah.
jingle bells.
Yeah, that's a dope sweater, by the way. Whenever the ugly sweater, parties happen or whatever, that's a fun one to wear because not only is it, I mean, it is
Conversation
ugly
starter.
sweater, but it's a great conversation starter. People are like,
right.
"What? Okay, let's talk about it."
CryptoPo says, when you boys coming back to Miami? I never left. I liked it so much. I just stayed here
It just stayed
after
Yeah.
Art Basel.
Yeah. We actually were
Basil,
talking
whatever it's
about
called.
wanting to do an event, but it was too last second. It's just too last second for us to be able to do. We've got somebody that does some event stuff down there. We are going to be doing some things in Miami. I think we will be doing, and we'll keep you posted and let you know. Green Day Prophet says, I got 40 slots. Let me see here. Green Day Profits, you do have 40 slots. I just looked to verify. You do have 40 slots, my
Hey, bro, $3,600 is no joke, bro. You have better odds of winning $3,600 and getting on Flipper and Hodl than winning the lottery.
Well, think about it. Even with Green Day Profits having spent $40 on, well, actually, Green Day Profits is a member, so
He's
probably
a member.
spent 20.
Yeah,
So he spent $20, gets 40 slots. The first freaking bank offer. If somebody just wanted to be slick, they put in a nice super chat, they get on, and they're like, "Oh, cool game, guys. Thanks for the $400 or $500. Thanks for the 20x I just did on my freaking super chat."
Let's just show it here real quick. Obviously, $3,600 is down here. Literally, just pick any random case. First round, right? 5 cases. Boom, $403, and you send in $20. That's a great Christmas to me. Yeah.
No
That's it. That's literally your first offer.
For sure. And it supports the channel, guys. So you're going to be able to get on, make some money. We've got questions in between that gives you multipliers if you get them correctly, if you guys haven't seen how the game's played. So jump on, make sure that your name is on that wheel. All right, so let's finish the stream out with this commercial. Spot Bitcoin ETF applicant Bitwise releases new Bitcoin
Wait,
ETF
do you actually have the commercial? Or you want me to
No, you said you had it.
Okay, I'll pull it up right now before we go into it.
Oh, I was going to just mention it and then see the commercial and then talk about it.
No.
All right. Bitwise, the aspiring applicant for a spot Bitcoin ETF, has unveiled a captivating commercial aimed at advocating for its upcoming Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, if approved by the SEC. A word of the wise from a man of few words. Bitcoin is interesting, Bitwise said. The commercial... Yeah, the commercial appears to be targeted towards the older generations like Gen X and baby boomers with a classy and sophisticated style that those generations are used to watching on television in between their favorite shows and sports. You know what's interesting these days? Bitcoin, said the actor in the commercial. Look for Bitwise, my friends. All right, pull this up. Let me see this thing. I have not even seen it. I just know that it's there.
All right.
It's from the guy that does Dos Equis.
Dos Equis. Stay thirsty,
the most interesting man on earth, I think.
That's right. Stay thirsty, my friends. All right, sharing volume. Let me know if you could hear it. You should be able to, but here it is.
Yes.
You know what's interesting these days? Bitcoin.
Cut. What if we get him?
You know what's interesting these days? Bitcoin. Look for Bitwise, my friends.
Good commercial, bro.
Dude, that is a great commercial. And that's just one, right? Imagine what's going to happen in the Super Bowl this year, right? If the ETF is already approved in January, the Super Bowl in February, right? And all these other companies, that's just Bitwise, that's just one company. BlackRock and all these other companies that are piling in on the ETFs, all of their commercials.
Yeah.
Right. We also had a video I also want to pull up here too, because it's about the $30 trillion coming in.
I wonder what they spent on that commercial. Yeah, I just wonder. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I'm sure they spent millions of dollars on those commercials, even though I don't see how, but it's Hollywood.
Yeah, you're right. It is. But I look forward to seeing. I mean, the Super Bowl this year is going to be wrought with crypto stuff. I mean, just
it better be
wild with it. All right, what's this?
This guy's this the Grayscale CEO approval of the spot ETF will allow 30 trillion in advised wealth to participate in the Bitcoin market. So they were talking about this on Squawk Box this morning.
65,000, 100,000. I don't know what you think it is in the cards, but what do you think it's already in the asset right now? If you want to call it an asset, is it already there?
If you want to
Once
call it an
happens,
asset,
do you expect it to go to new highs, or it just seems like we've already paid a lot of it forward with the move we saw from? I mean, it was as low as 17,000 this year.
Sure. Well, Joe, I'm not one to make price predictions, but I do think there is a lot of optimism again in the market. I think a lot of investors are adding Bitcoin to their portfolios. And when we look ahead to the hopeful approval for spot Bitcoin ETFs, it really is going to unlock the opportunity to a part of the investment community that, for better or worse, but I would say for worse, has unfortunately been locked out of the opportunity to participate in having Bitcoin exposure in their portfolios. So we're really talking about the advised market here in the US, which is today about $30 trillion worth of advised wealth that we hope the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs, the uplisting of GBTC will allow for that opportunity and for those investors to partake in it as well.
$30 trillion. Now, he's not saying that the Bitcoin ETF
$30 trillion isn't going to just flow into the market the minute the ETF is approved.
that would be a hell. That would be.
But Bitcoin's getting exposed to $30 trillion worth of money that's out there for people to start trickling in a few trillion here, a few trillion there, right? These asset managers have talked about allocating 1 to 3%. There's been others that have talked about up to 6% of their wealth management funds to Bitcoin. Dude, I think it can get extremely, extremely wild very quickly.
I mean, if they added an extra, $5 trillion, if they added $5 trillion,
what's this? 1% of 30 trillion.
1% of 30 trillion.
That's 3 trillion, right?
Well, no,
that's
0.3, but no, you're looking at probably more like needing it to be, because 1% of 30 is going to be 0.3, which is going to be still $300 billion, but that's only going to put us up to 60. That's going to put us up to all-time highs, like around.
Dude, that'd be, because remember, if 300, the market cap doesn't actually signify how much money is in there. So like if $300 billion actually flew in to the Bitcoin network itself, the market cap would actually be a lot higher.
Oh, if it just exactly. If it just absolute, like it was just not there before. If
$300 billion actually gets inserted, right? 300 more billion. They talked about what was it? The Qatar was talking about $500 billion worth, right? That they were willing to invest or whatever. That's the rumor. Well, if 300 billion just flows in to Bitcoin, the market cap doesn't just go up by 300 billion more dollars. It goes up significantly higher, because you have to remember that the market cap is Bitcoin price times the supply of Bitcoin. So the price changes very drastically.
And also the leverage,
and all the leverage positions and whatever,
shorts, longs, everything in between. It would drastically affect that. So I just think that the exposure that we're seeing in the crypto space, these commercials coming out, you got kind of the Santa Rally thing happening right now.
SUPERCYCLE.
I just want to tell everybody,
buy it now.
We are bullish and believe that long term Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto markets, they've done well for us over the years. They're going to continue to do well for you. I believe, and none of this is financial advice, but I believe this might be your last true opportunity to make some life-changing money. Besides some of the one-offs, there'll be some meme coins that somebody will toss some money, in large assets. I think this is going to be your last opportunity to get into alts, to get into Bitcoin this run, before this thing just absolutely takes off. And people will still be able to make great money. It'll still be better in the stock market for a while, but the life-changing, the 10, 100,000x stuff is not going to be,
not even the 10x stuff. I mean, just the opportunity to own a full Bitcoin is practically almost out the door already, right? Most people can't afford to buy a full Bitcoin. There's still few people out there, right? They're not rich, but they're like high middle class, right? That they can afford to buy about a Bitcoin, right? Dollar cost averaging or whatever. But the average Joe is almost priced out of Bitcoin already. When this thing rips, I don't think it's going to come down anywhere near the levels that we've seen in the past to be able to be able to accumulate a full Bitcoin ever again.
It's going to make it really tough for most people, for sure.
There's a few comments here I want to hit. Crypto Poil says, he knows I'm super connected in the 305. I worked in the nightclub industry for 10 years. Who wants to see Keeper and Crusader tactical skills?
Or tactical skills in airsoft, huh?
Yeah.
That would be fun. You let us know. Next time I'm down there, Crypto Pollo, we'll hit you up. We'll definitely do that.
He said, let me know whenever you guys want. I got you.
Nice.
Let's
that would be
make it
fun,
happen.
dude.
Get some good footage.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun for sure. All right, Crypto fam. Well, we love you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Just a reminder, we're planning on doing Flipper Hodl this Friday. We'd like to do that right before Christmas. $3,600 is on the line. If you're a member, we're going to double up the amount of slots that you have on the wheel, but get those super chats in so that you can be on the stream and playing for the game, and or your name's on the wheel for us to spin that wheel if an influencer comes on to play. It's the same, you know what I mean? Same thing either way, but just throwing out there. You want to be a part of this? You want to have the opportunity to win $3,600? Make sure you get those in. Make sure.
Yeah, better chances than playing the lottery. I can tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. Not quite as much capital at
yet.
But we could get there for sure. All right, fam. We love you guys. You could have been anywhere on a Monday, but you were hanging out here with your boys from Crypto Wars. We love you. Question everything.
Trust nothing.
Until next time, hodl
like a top.
We will see you soon.